Good evening to the members of management, my fellow engineering colleagues, and our panel today. My name is SREEVARAN son of SATISKUMAR. My metric card number is 2313991 and 789. And I am standing before today as an appointed safety officer for Telco Sendirian Berhad here in Alostar. Today I will be presenting our comprehensive occupational safety and health briefing, focusing specifically on our ongoing risk management project under the code at MK 4403 Engineering Technologies in Society. Our core focus today is Area 2, the Telco Exchange Room, evaluating its specific electrical and electromagnetic field or EMF hazards. Before we dive into the technical details, let's establish the legal landscape under Section 29 of Occupational Safety and Health Act 1 1994. The appointment of a dedicated safety officer is not just an industry best practice, it is a strict statutory requirement for high-risk industrial sectors. My primary mandate in this role is to independently inspect, audit, and systematically map out hazards using the hierarchy framework. This proactive approach ensures our facility remains fully compliant ahead of any official Department of Occupational Safety and Health or DOS audits, keeping both our workplace safe and our operational license secure. So why are we dedicating 20 minutes to discussing safety today? Let's look at the sobering reality of the national data. According to the official Department of Occupational Safety and Health Malaysia statistic, our country faced over 38,000 occupational injury cases in recent reporting cycles, marking in a sharp 13.8% increase. Tragically, over 300 of those cases resulted in workplace fatalities. Furthermore, within our specific high-tech and manufacturing sectors, over 6,700 cases of noise-induced and radiation-linked occupational disorders were documented. Beyond the tragic human toll, the financial strain on an organization through SOCSO claims, legal penalties, asset damage, and lost productivity can easily cripple an expanding technology enterprise like ours. To combat this, law established a clear, unshakable division of responsibility. Let's look at Section 15 of OSHA 1994, which details the employee's explicit statutory duties as the management of Nortelcom. You have a legal obligation to ensure, as far as practicable, the safety, health, and welfare of all employees. In context of our telco exchange room, this means three things. First, providing and maintaining a safe plant, ensuring our dense telecommunication server racks, high power switchgears, and HVAC cooling subsystems are structurally sound. Second, establishing safety system of work via strict standard operating procedures. And third, providing the necessary information, continuous training, and supervision so that our technicians never walk blindly into danger. So, however, safety is a two-way street. Section 24 shifts the spotlight directly on to our engineering technologies and technicians. Under these sections, every employee is legally required to take reasonable care of their own safety and the safety of colleagues who may be affected by their actions. Employees must actively cooperate with management where the provided personal proactive equipment at all times and never maliciously interfere with our misuse safety critical equipment such as the electrical earthing mats or the automatic fire suppression lines installed in the room. So for it is absolutely critical for management to realize the regulatory stakes have recently become much higher. Under the OSHA Amendment Act 2022, the statutory maximum penalty for an employer found in breach of their safety duties skyrocketed from 50,000 ringgit to a staggering 500,000 ringgit. Furthermore, this amendment expands the scope of the law to cover all workplaces across Malaysia without exception and mandates the implementation of a structured OSH management system. Ignorance of a hazard is no longer viable legal defense. The law demands documentation, systematic accountability, and visible risk reduction. As engineering technologies trained within the Board of Engineers Malaysia Professional Framework, this legal duty aligns perfectly with our ethical code. Principle 1 of the BEM Code of Professional Conduct explicitly states that engineers must hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public and the workforce in the performance of their professional duties. If a system is not verifiably safe, it is not ethically engineered. Our work in Area 2 is a direct expression of this professional oath. To bring order to our safety mission, Telcom utilizes the Malaysian standard MS 1722.2011 framework for occupational safety and health management system. This standard breaks our responsibility down into clear manageable components, creating a clear corporate safety policy, organizing roles and structural accountabilities, planning and executing risk controls, and continuously evaluating our performance through internal safety audits. This system functions as a continuous loop using the classic plan do check act, or it's called as PDCA cycle. We plan by executing our risk assessments. We do by executing technical training and physical controls. We check by deploying instruments to monitor real-time radiation and electrical currents. And we act by modifying our corporate protocols whenever an abnormality or a near-miss incident is noted on the floor. This brings us to the operational heart of my presentation: hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Grounded heavily in the DOS HIRAC guidelines of 2008, this process shifts our organization away from a reactive mode. Whenever we are only investigate after someone gets hurt into a proactive mode, mapping out exact risk equation before an engineer ever steps foot inside a high voltage zone. The hierarchy process follows a strict logical timeline. We begin by classifying our specific work activities, such as routing high frequency fiber cables or testing backup battery banks. Next, we aggressively identify every hidden physical, electrical, chemical, or environmental hazard. We then quantitatively assess the risk, apply the strict hierarchy of control to minimize it, and continuously document and review the outcomes. So, to make our risk assessments entirely objective, we utilize the standard 5x5 risk matrix, cross-referencing likelihood with severity. Likelihood ranges from 1, meaning an event is completely rare, to 5, meaning it almost certain to happen. Severity ranges from 1, a minor negligible injury, to 5, meaning a fatal catastrophic event. By multiplying these two factors together, we yield a final risk score. Any score falling between 15 and 25 is classified as high risk, requiring immediate shutdown or engineering redesign. Scores from 5 to 12 represent a medium risk, requiring structural control measures, while 1 to 4 is deemed a manageable low risk. So we go to the next slide. Once a risk score is calculated, we mitigate it using the hierarchy of control. This is an inverted pyramid of effectiveness. We always try to completely eliminate or substitute a hazard first. If that is impossible due to operational constraints, we must enforce engineering controls to physically isolate the danger. Failing that, we implement the administrative controls like schedules, like signage, and only as a final desperate line of defense do we rely on personal proactive equipment, like say we PPE in short form. For the let us know apply this exact mathematical and legal framework directly to area 2, the telco exchange room. This room acts as the high-density computing core of our Alostar operations. Through our specialized inspection, we have identified 3 major safety hazards that require immediate management attention. First, electrical shock and electrocution. In this room houses our main AC to DC rectifiers and high current power distribution units. Routine maintenance carries an initial likelihood of 2 and a severity of 4, yielding a medium risk score of 8. To, con to, con to control this, we have mandated an engineering control a strict lockout and tagout Noto system, ensuring no power rail can be energized while an engineer is serving a rack. For PPE, technicians must wear certified class 0 insulated rubber gloves and rated safety boots. Second, electromagnetic field, that's called in short form EMF, radiation exposure. Because this room contains high-frequency radio transceivers and active microwave transmission line equipment, our technologists are exposed to high level of non-ionizing radiation. This presents a likelihood of 3 and a severity of 3, resulting in a medium risk score of 9. To mitigate this, We are executing an engineering control by installing structural EMF shielding panels around the main transmission line interfaces. Administratively, we are enforcing a strict time limit policy. No technician is allowed inside the cave exchange room for more than 2 consecutive hours per shift, drastically reducing their cumulative radiation dose. For third high-density fire hazards, the combination of massive electrical loads, continuous operation, and backup lithium or lead-acid battery banks creates a significant threat of thermal runaway or electrical fires. This yields a likelihood of a 2 but a catastrophic severity of 5, resulting in a medium high risk score of 10. Because traditional water sprinkles would instantly destroy our multi-million ringgit telecommunications infrastructure and pose an extreme eruption hazard, we have implemented an advanced engineering control and automated FM200 clean agent gas separation system. This system detects heat or smoke anomalies, sounds an alarm to evacuate personnel, and floods the room with specialization gas and extinguish the fire in seconds without leaving a single drop conductive residue. In conclusion, managing the high voltage and invisible electromagnetic field hazards, that called EMF in short form hazards, within Area 2 is not a one-time paper exercise. It requires an ongoing, unidentified operational culture between engineering technologists and corporate leadership. For our management team, our immediate next steps from this audit are concrete. We require formal authorization to lock these hierarchy sheets into our permanent corporate registry, clear budgetary approval to acquire the certified VDE insulated toolkits and EMF aluminum shielding panels, and firm commitment to review our PDCA safety key performance indicators at the close of this operational quarter. For our engineering technologists and field technicians, your marching orders are absolutely vital to zero harm operation. You must adhere strictly to the LOTO multi-lock padlocking procedures, respect the 120-minute maximum room occupancy ceilings, and immediate document every single near miss voltage arc or equipment thermal anomaly to my office. As the board engineers, Malaysia reminds us, and as OSHA enforces, safety is not an individual checklist. It is a shared culture of total vigilance. Let us continue working together to build a world-class accident-free workplace here at Telco. Before I open floor to the panel, I want to direct your attention to slide 60. To ensure our engineering assessments stand up to rigorous legal and professional scrutiny, this entire safety and audit was benchmarked directly against our four core regulatory frameworks. First one, the Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, including the strict compliance updates from the 2022 Amended Act. So the second one, the Department of Occupational Safety and Health Guidelines for Higher Act 2008. For, for the third one is Malaysian Standard MS 1722.2011 for OS H management system. And for the last one, and the Board of Engineers Malaysia BAM Code of Professional Conduct. By anchoring our field calculation in these exact statutory standards, we guarantee that North Telecom's infrastructure is both legally compliant and ethically sound. That concludes my engineering safety briefing for Area 2. Thank you very much for your time and your attention this evening. And I am now officially open to any technical questions, critiques, or feedbacks from our distinguished panel or the management team. So, thank you.